Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning, sunshine. Okay, today we're going to do these fan leaves here. They're like my favorite leaves to do. They're so fun. Let me think. I'm quite cold. See, the problem is I turned the heat down like 2 weeks ago because I was like, oh, it's getting warmer. I'm going to turn the heat down. And then, bam, it's gone back into like freezing hibernation mode. So that's fantastic. Because I'm absolutely freezing cold. Okay, let's see if we've got enough on this one. We'll see. So I'm going to use this kind of darker color. In the sample, I used a brighter color, but I don't have enough of that left. I only have a little bit. So I thought I would flip-flop it and do a darker color in the middle and maybe outline Hi George with the lighter color. So we'll just flip-flop it for this one. So easy peasy one today. We're going to do the fly stitch, and it's the closed fly stitch. So they're going to be really close together, and you're going to end up with a little, almost like buttons down the middle. And we're going to fill in the very top with just some like straight stitches / satin stitches. So it's like a different way that I do the satin stitches, where you tuck one in kind of, make them not go all the way down. So we're going to use 4 strands for this. Pick your color. 4 strands. Scissors. So let me just pull 2 out. How's everyone today? Are we good? Was your bank holiday, if you're in the UK, was your bank holiday nice yesterday? I hope so. It's my mother-in-law's birthday tomorrow. So on Sunday, we went to have lunch. It starts at 10. The video starts at 10, so it's only been on for 3 minutes now. So you didn't miss anything. All the videos start at 10, Monday to Friday. Yeah, so Sunday we went to Baddesley Clinton. And we just had a little walk around, and we gave her birthday gift. But I got her the wrong size, so we had to go and return it yesterday. And let me tell you, it did not stop raining all day long until about 8. It started yesterday on Monday the 3rd. So yeah, couldn't really do anything with the weather. It was awful. Okay, so we're gonna start with the fly stitch. Let me zoom it in a little bit because we can actually zoom it in. So much rain yesterday, I know. I thought it was never going to start. Poor Jessie was like, can we just stop, please? Can we just stop? Okay, so I like to start the fly stitch here. So it's going to end up looking like this. Like, I can zoom in more, actually. So it's going to end up looking like this, a V, like that. Then we're going to fill in the top. And then all of these here are going to be V's like this, really close together, and they're going to fill up this area. Now, when you get to these little cutouts, you're just going to do the V until you can, and then do just some straight stitches to fill in that space, and then continue with a short V on the one side. Okay? So it's almost like a feather. All right, so the fly stitch is like this. You come up on one side. It doesn't matter if it's the right side or the left side because you're going to go down on the other side. So whichever way you start, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, and you're going to go down on the other side like that. And you're going to leave this loop. So you want to leave that loop right there. And we're going to come up inside the loop. Okay. Are you with me? And then pull it tight. Again, it's just 4 strands, so it's a little bit less than 6, obviously, because 4 is less than 6. But it's just going to give a little bit more of a delicate look, not so like chunky. If you want it to be really, really smooth, you can use less. But 4 is a really good way to start. And because this is the closed fly stitch, we want to keep them all really close together. So our next stitch is going to be just on the other side of this thread. So just a tiny little stitch there, like that. There you go. We've done one. Now I like to do this first and then go back and do the top part. And the top part, let's see what we need to do here. I can stitch right over that. So the top part here, I'm going to do 1 down the middle. Ow. Just poked myself. Okay. And then the next 2, I'm going to go 3/4 of the way down. Let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit more like that. Maybe you can see a little bit better that way. So just like 3/4 of the way, or 4/5 of the way. I'm just going to go right in the middle of this because I'm going to cover all the rest. Okay, now the next ones are going to go all the way down through the same hole as the first middle one. So all we're doing by doing this is just making more space at the very tip where this point is here. What is happening? Come on. And that way you won't run out of room. I'm a professional, okay? I can already feel it's like starting to get congested. So by adding some that are just like 3/4 of the way down, don't laugh at me, Mel. You're just adding a little bit extra room in there for your needle to go down. I honestly think that some people think that if you've been stitching for a long time that like you don't get knots, you don't get tangles, you don't poke yourself in the finger, like you don't do any of that stuff. And the reality is I do it all the time. All the time. So just because you've been stitching for 10 years, it doesn't mean that you don't poke your finger or you don't get knots or whatever. Someone said, would that be satin or straight stitch? Technically, satin stitches are just straight stitches that are next to each other, parallel, making them smooth. These are not parallel. That's why I call it like a form of satin stitch / straight stitch, because it's not really tucking it in, but it's like the 3/4 method where you make only some of your stitches go 3/4 of the way down and the other ones go all the way down to kind of hide it. So it still gives a smooth look like a satin stitch, but actually you're just strategically placing, it's 10-10. You're just strategically placing your straight stitches so that they look smooth and they give you that nice point at the very tip. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. So this is what it is, the whole thing. So you're going to do this all the way down and you're going to keep them really close together. Now the key for this is to not pull too tight, because if you pull too tight, you're going to start puckering your fabric. The word I couldn't remember yesterday. Remembered it today, so look at that. progress. So what I mean by don't pull too tight is don't pull too tight right here. So this is obviously not tight enough, okay, because it's still, you know, floppy. You want to get it snug so you have that like V, but you don't want to be too tight where you start actually manipulating the fabric. I sound like such a professional. Don't manipulate the fabric. Mel says, I love you, girl, but it is true. It is so true. Just because you stitch a lot, that doesn't mean that you don't get knots. You don't poke your finger. Earlier this morning, I almost stitched my fabric into the back underneath of my hoop. And I was like, oh, that's a rookie move, Tori. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, if you do not like the look of this stitch, could you just do a satin stitch on each side and make them on an angle? Yes, of course. Like, could you do something out? Yes, of course. Like, there's so many ways that you can stitch leaves like this. So if you don't like these little like buttons, these little like nubs, I guess, down the middle, and you can just do a nice satin stitch using the same angle, make them go down like this, and you can call it a day. Yeah. This way it just kind of does it both on at the same time. So you don't have to do one side and then the other side. And it gives a little bit of texture and you get to learn a new stitch. So it's like bam, bam, bam. All the things. Learning all the things. Amelia says that she has done that. It happens, you know? And okay, Jessie. She's sleeping. But her bed is like this, and she's sleeping this way in it. So I don't know why she's doing that, but if it's comfy, that's all that matters, right? So there are 5 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's another one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of like poking out the back right there. So all we're going to do for this right here is just pushed it the wrong way. Up. Is just extend this over the side. Can you see that? Yeah, you can a little bit. Yeah, so this one here will curve up like that and end straight. And then this one right here will just disappear over the side. So to start these ones, do your first one. Yeah, and pretend that this line here goes all the way up the middle and then just fill it in on each side like that. Okay. And then this one is a complete one, so that should be easy. I printed this at a lower opacity so that it wouldn't be like black, and I feel like I shouldn't have done that because some of the stuff on the edges isn't as dark as some of the stuff in the middle. Like over here, this is like really quite dark, and over here it's not at all. So lesson learned. I just made it too much. I think I printed it at like 30% or something instead of normally I print them at 44%. I don't know why I chose that one, but I did. The other thing is that if you do not want to have those notches in there, so I've like put some little like tears in the leaves, you know, little notches, then you don't have to do that either, okay? So this is kind of where you can kind of take not responsibility, but ownership over the pattern, and you don't have to do the exact same thing as I did. So my last fabric was, I didn't even turn the light on. My last fabric was actually not black. It's a dark gray. And this fabric is a dark green. So I'm not sure if you can see the difference. But this is like a dark gray color, this one. And then this one right here is like a really deep, almost like a hunter green. So we'll see how it looks. We'll see. No, no, no. I said looks, not the other word. Jessie just perked up. Like, I know it does look in the light. It does look a little bit dark, doesn't it? So it does look really nice having it all done in. So I'm going to hurry up and see if I can't stitch this one leaf pretty quickly, and then I can show you how to do the outline. Now for the outline, all I did was a stem stitch all the way around it. I used 3 strands. Probably could have got away with 2, to be fair, if I wanted a little bit more of a delicate look. But 3 was all right. And I just made really tiny little stitches all the way around. So remember, when you're going around the curve of a stem stitch, you need to make them really, 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 really small. Or else they're going to start cutting over from each other and they start to look like this. Let's just do some little stitches here to make that point. I love all the different colors though. And a lot of people are saying that, I say a lot, I've only seen like 3 or 4, that they've said that sorry, I thought the cover was blowing away, but it wasn't. They've said that they do not like the light color of their fabric. What is... But it's going to look so much better once you have all of the bottom part stitched. So all of the floor, all of the bottom half is all going to be stitched. All of it. All. So it's going to look a lot different when you have the bottom part done. I'm just making the schedule today for the Stitchalong just to make sure I don't put like too much stitching in one day, and to make sure we do the most stitching like on a Friday where you have a lot of time on the weekend to like get it, like to catch up if you need to, or like a Thursday and a Friday to have like 2 big pieces next to each other, if that makes sense. So you have extra time. And I just want to stitch everything tomorrow. Like every time I'm like, oh, we could do the blanket. Oh, but no, we have to do the ladder first. Okay, but then we could do this part. Oh, but then oh man, I just want to stitch everything. So like I said, I'll just do the one. You do not have to finish all 5 of these today. This is something you can work on a little bit at a time. When you have some extra, isn't that a joke? When you have some extra time. But think of it as like you could just fill in the palm, one of the palms in one day, and then you can do the rest later. At a later time. Mel says, I love mine. Kind of parchment, kind of khaki color. I do like the watercolor one though. Yeah, isn't that one so pretty? I just get like envious of everyone's colors that they chose. Like even for the background, I was like, oh man. The easiest way to see what it'll look like is to color the entire bottom. So print out a copy of the pattern, color the entire bottom. Can I do one more? Perhaps not. This is pretty short. Let's just try. No. I'm going to take that out and flip it over. I knew there was a knot back there. I knew it. Oh, awful. Okay, some people have been asking about how to close the back of the thread, meaning like how to stop stitching. So there's two different kinds of ways. You can do a circle. Yeah. And put it through like that. And leave your circle like that. Pick your needle up and put your needle down close to where you want your knot to be and pull. And that will give you a knot that's really close to the fabric. The other way is to separate the threads and do a double knot, like if you were tying your shoes almost. So like if I've got 4 strands, so you can do like 2 and 2. There we go. Okay. So you can just do it like that and then do it like that again. Okay. The third way is to do no knots, and you can leave it hang like that, or some people will weave their thread up through things that they've already stitched to secure it. That's not my favorite way, but it just depends on what you like to do because it's your hoop. It's yours. Okay. Two. So someone's doing 2. Now a top tip for using 4 strands is to take the 2 strands that you've just separated before at the very beginning of the video, okay, and make your next length of thread the same length as those 2 strands. And then you can take the 2 strands and the 2 strands and put them together and make 4 strands. And then you'll have more for your next palm. Okay, so I'm almost finished with this, and then we can do a little outline, and then that'll probably be it for me. I didn't actually put the other video up. No excuses, I just didn't do it. So I will do that today, and I will do the prep video because I found someone who told me that you can convert it. So I've converted the prep video, and I'm gonna see if it will let me put it on YouTube now. So hopefully by the end of today, all 3 videos will be up. The prep video, video 1 from yesterday, and video 2 from today. Oh my gosh, a couple people are doing 2. That's so much work. Like, I'm still working on the first one because I can't make my mind up about the rug. I want to do too many things to it. I'm like, ooh, I could do this or I could do that. So all the videos are on IGTV now anyways. So if you go to YouTube and you don't find them there, then go to IGTV. It's the little TV on my profile. And you can find all of them there. I know it's not amazing. Like, it's not the preferred way to watch, but it beats having nothing. Which is why I keep saving them there anyways, because at least there are 2 places. I remember when we first I remember when we first started doing the Stitchalongs, and the live video would only be up for 24 hours. And it would cause me so much stress to make sure that like all the videos were like downloaded and uploaded to YouTube, because like you couldn't save them onto IGTV. It was just you could watch them for 24 hours and that's it. Oh my gosh, it would stress me out so much because I'd be like, oh my gosh, no one can see them after 24 hours. Okay, I feel like I could do one more small one, and then let's get color for... Melanie says, thankfully my mom doesn't want this one. I was firm about it, Tori. You know she'll look at it and want to rob it. She'll be like, I like that one too. Don't give in. I'm undecided whether to make the dog a hamster or change it to a pug. Ooh. If you make it a hamster, make sure you make it much smaller because that would kind of be scary having a hamster that's like that big. Miriam says, I am also late because I'm waiting on my supplies being delivered. Everyone's is looking so pretty. Yes. Okay. Now, in the sample, I made the stems the same color as the outline with just a straight stitch. But if you want to have the stems the same color as the plant and just have the outline as the plant, that's okay too. So you don't have to always follow like the colors that I use for the colors I use, if that makes sense, you know? Like the background, I did 2 colors. You could have done 1 color. You could have done 3 colors. Okay, let's keep that separate so we can get it again. And let's use this color. What color is this? No color. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Together, they look like this. And I'm going to try two strands for this one because last time I did 3. I'm going to see what 2 strands look like. Let's just see how it looks with just 2. Come on, just do it. Let's take those and put them away. And we'll get this one. Now for the outside, the line, the little outline. I'm just making a knot, sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but there's nothing on the screen, so. With 2 strands, I like to knot it a couple times. Okay, so with the 2 strands, we're gonna do the stem stitch. I really like the stem stitch. It's really easy to make a really nice, simple outline. You can do a little bit bigger on the outside edge. Make sure that you cut in for the little cut in here. I'm pretty sure there's a cut in on the bottom too, but I stitched over that. So that's just gonna live underneath the fabric. Let's just see if we can get this better for you guys. This way, I think. Okay, so you're gonna make your loop just like the fly stitch. Keep your loop. Okay, and then go down right on the edge. Leave your loop. Just move my scissors because I'm gonna pick it up with my thread. And you're gonna come up again in the middle between this one and that one. Right in the middle here. See? And pull. Now I like to pull like this and then kind of go this way as well, just so that you can, you know, make it nice. Now the next stitch we're gonna do is gonna be the same length as the first stitch. So from here to here and from here to here should be about the same length. Now, I try to keep them about the same length, meaning like all the stitches are uniform, but actually it doesn't turn out like that, because at the very tip, we need to make them a lot smaller than this so that we can go around this part here. So do your best up until then. I have to do my nails today too. Oops. I missed a couple comments. Hi, Tori, that looks great. Hi. Thank you. That's so nice. And then Amelia said, I got your package yesterday. Oh, it's the green from before. It's the knot that I did before. That's okay. I accept that. Now, some people will leave all of their threads to just dangle down and then tie all of the knots later. If you like to do that, you can. But just be cautious, because sometimes they'll come up. I'm going to end it like that. And then do a little straight stitch for the cutout. Now, I like to put the loop on the curve. So if you have a curve that's like this, your loop will come this way. If you have a curve that's like, let's see if I can bend my arm like that, then the loop will come this way. So you kind of have to have a think sometimes about where the curve is, and if you actually want to make it curvy. I could have just done a straight line there, but I wanted to have that little curve like that, like a little, like an actual chunk has been taken out of it, you know? Oh, the police. Now back to our regular scheduled program of the stem stitch. And we'll just make them a lot smaller on the tip. I know I keep saying it, but it really does make a difference. And actually, I'm really enjoying the two strands. I know it's only one strand less than the 3 strands, so I'm going to start making them really tiny now, just to go over that. Not in the leaf, just on the outside. Up she goes. I'm really excited to add some color to mine. It really starts to make all the difference. I know there's a lot of green in this one, but there's also a lot of other colors if you want to. So I know yesterday we talked a little bit about colors and like what you could do if you wanted to. So you can kind of make it like as a neutral with like whites, grays, blacks, browns, or as colorful as you wanted. So Don't feel bad if you're like, I want mine to be super colorful, but no one else has chosen that. Like, you do you. Make it how you feel happy, you know? Some little like pink lines in this would be really pretty too. It'll make it look like a variegated, like a rubber plant almost, but not, because rubber plants don't look like this, but. Okay, so I'm almost done with one. This has taken 36 minutes. Obviously, I've talked for the first couple, like always. So there's that. It's totally fine. That's right, Mel. It is totally fine. Oh, Christ, what's she done now? I think she's just knocked something off the bed. What was that, ma'am? Huh? I heard that. It's probably an outdoor cat that she saw out the window back there, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go see it. Amelia says, I started to pick colors together and trace it on the fabric. I was so proud that I was about ready to start to find out I had the taste wrong. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't dwell on it. It looks like we did a lot yesterday, but it's just because it's over most of the background. That's all. So you're really not that behind. At least you didn't think the start date was like July or something. How is the garden doing? Good-ish. I say that because it's rained every day for... I can't play with you right now. I can't. It's rained every day for the past, like 6 days. So... yeah, not amazing. But things are still growing. It's very windy today, so I'm a little bit concerned about some of the things, like their leaves flopping about, you know? So I just did a straight line down there. And then we've got the stem stitch with 2 strands all the way around. So we have 4 strands for the darker green. And then we have 2 strands for the outline. Let me just do a knot on the back, and then I'll flip it over and you can see what it looks like as I zoom it out. Uh-oh. And remember, we had the fly stitch initially, and then the stem stitch. Oh, okay. I don't know what's happened there. Just go for it. Then we had the stem stitch outline. So here we go. Did you see the gasp with your dog challenge? I didn't. Send it to me. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Here is the sample. I'll put it right next to it. I feel like the darker color hides some of the gaps a little bit better. Just what I'm seeing right now. And then also the 2 strands hugs it a little bit tighter. Whereas the 3 strands, I feel like I probably could have gone a little bit closer to the leaves. Do you know what I mean? Like I could have gone so much closer right here and around the top. Yeah? But this one looks great too. So there we go. That's it for today. If you only do 1 leaf, just do the 1 leaf. If you only do half a leaf, it's okay. All right? Do not get stressed out with trying to keep up because you just can't. This morning, I spent about an hour finishing all the rest of the background, and still I kept looking at it going, oh, I need one here. Oh, I need one here. So like, take your time, really enjoy it. Yeah, don't stress out trying to keep up. Okay? So I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. I can't wait to see what colors you choose. If you want to tag your progress, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just a little snippet, I'm happy to share it in my stories if you would like. Make sure you're tagging me at the Barmy Fox. If you have a private account, I cannot see it no matter how many times you tag, no matter how much you use the hashtag, I cannot see it because private accounts are totally private. So yeah, you can send a picture to me if you want me to have a look, or if you want me to share the picture in my stories, I'm happy to do that. And please use the hashtag the Barmy Fox SAL. That's Stitchalong. We have so many posts on there. It's so lovely to see. Yeah, and I hope you have a good, fun, relaxing time. So enjoy your day, and I will talk with you tomorrow. Bye.